Good evening, everyone, and welcome back again with another live show on the channel. It is match review and player ratings from yesterday's 0-0 draw away to Crystal Palace yesterday. I've got John with me. Tony's going to come in as well. He'll just be running about 5 minutes late, but Tony is going to join us as well when he is ready. So I'll just get him in when he is ready. But if you do, please, guys, of course, you know the drill. Please, of course, hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy tonight's show. Of course, please hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel or you are enjoying what's going on this channel, you're not yet subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button because it really, really has helped grow the channel. Definitely hit the notification bell as well to be known of any live shows or any pre-recorded videos going on the channel as well. And if you would like to donate, we do have Super Chat available. And if you would like to consider becoming a member for just 99p a month, feel free to do so as well. No comments have come in yet. Well, John, of course, we were doing the watch-along yesterday, and we were feeling a bit frustrated after I had so many numerous opportunities, I thought. But we didn't wake the goalkeeper yesterday.
Not to Pete even chats. No, he didn't. Not at all, mate. I mean, look, we had a few chances, and unfortunately, it went straight to the keeper, sort of thing. But it was a frustrating game. I think Palace, came for a point in the end of the day, even at home. They just didn't show any ambition to go forward. I mean, when they do, our defenders impeccable as well. Apart from when Port made that fantastic save, by the way. But other than that, they haven't really offered us now. I thought Trippier had a time in his back pocket, and I think it's still there. I think Dan Burn defended properly. Our two centre-halves has been fantastic. Midfield, right? Look, I mean, Joe Linton, right? I mean, he's got energy, villain energy, and, gets in the tackle as well, but he should have scored a couple yesterday. Let's be real here. He should have scored twice yesterday, but very poor effort by him. He bossed the midfield, battles all the time, loves his energy. Joe Willock, often he did Ivy yesterday. Tried to drive the forward sort of thing. Final ball's been poor, by the way. And he lacks composure as well, which I've noticed as well yesterday. And Sean Longstaff, he's got great energy, but again, he can be often let himself down at times. And yes, he's very tidy, strong defensively, but has he got the quality? No, he hasn't. Not last night. I didn't see the quality from him yesterday. Miguel Almiron, look, I love him. I love him, right? But he looked one-dimensional yesterday. I'm not going to lie. I think Palace were time. He had a chance, though, to get a deflection from a corner. Callum Wilson, he looked way off the pace last night. Okay, he needs a lot of rest, in my opinion, to overcome his illness. He didn't look fit. He looked a little lethargic at times, Callum Wilson. That's not having a go at him. Where's explosive pace and power? He did that. Where has that gone? I haven't seen it in the last few games in Callum. I'm backing this guy, right? Let's be real. But he needs a break. And I think it's time now for him to take a rest and bring on Isak. But also, Pete, we need a centre forward as well. And I'm trying to be real. I'm not trying to BS anyone. I'm not being negative. You know that. But I'm just being real because we've seen it last night and a couple of games, Callum Wilson. Right, people I heard on social media come out to us and say he's not getting quality balls at all whatsoever. That's not the point. The point is he hasn't been explosive with his goals attempts and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where was his last goal? I think it's about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. I could be wrong, but I think it's time now. He needs a rest. I love Callum. He needs a rest. Get Isak on, and we need a centre forward as well because if you're going to stay in the top four, Pete, then we need strikers. We need another midfielder. We need a left winger sort of thing. But I'm not being negative. I'm just stating the facts.
Yeah, I mean, I think Callum Wilson's last goal for us was against Villa in the 4-0 win. So it's been a while.
It's been that is the problem. That has been a while because
it has been a while.
At the end of the day, end of the day, I support Callum. You know that. This is not a dig at him. I'm gonna go at him, right? But it's good to be honest and start flipping and flapping. You got to call it how it is. I know Newcastle fans say, he's not having a good time. He'll come back. We need him to be back to form quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we need. Our number 9, considering he's wearing number 9 as well. And I thought he looked pretty lethargic, I thought, yesterday. I mean, I thought Crystal Palace worked him out at times, I thought. And again, his attempts were just at the goalkeeper. With the rest of the few, I think all the attempts were when it were straight at the goalkeeper. I must admit, again, we didn't wait. Guaita. No disrespect to Guaita. He's not been a great keeper as of late. I've seen him make mistakes a lot this season. We should have been at least trying to work him. We didn't do that, and it was comfortable for his yesterday. Not to mention the save from Nick Pope yesterday to deny Mattea. Imagine if that went in. It could have been. We would have lost that game, we would have thought. Well, then we'll just dive into some comments because they're now coming. Eagle Eye Football in the chat. Yes.
Eagle Eye. Big up, me guy.
So what did you think? A well-hearted point for us. Fiji was comfortable, but that Pope save was crazy. Yeah, it was. Liam says, have we been found out? I wouldn't say being found out. I mean, it's what you call not taking opportunities when we should be looking to do so. Try to wake the goalkeeper as well. Defensively, we're still being solid. I mean, that was another clean sheet as of yesterday as well. But it's not. It's just poor in the final third, not taking the opportunities we should be doing. We lacked a clinical edge. I think Isak needed to be brought on sooner or even started and save Wilson for the cup. Says White Trout. Yeah, possibly. Liam says we should start Isak, in my opinion. Do you know what? I agree. I would say slowly work Isak in at the moment, but now I'm getting to that point where I think we should now be looking to get him in now and see how he does on Tuesday. I will be looking to start him in the cup. I think Callum does need a bit of a break now. He has been struggling a bit as of late since he's had that illness, and it's catching up with him at the moment. So I think a bit of a break for Callum. Put him on the bench for Tuesday, and I would start Isak as well. Villa was his last.
Do you think so? Do you think Eddie? I mean, Eddie is being found out, sort of thing as well. Like, he should have known if he's not 100% fit, he should not be playing him. Really, do you know what I mean? I know it's okay saying that Isak's going to get 60 minutes there, half an hour there. Isak needs game time now. I tell you what, we're desperate for a striker, and they knew Chris was going to leave right on loan about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. That's when you should have got a replacement, sort of thing. That's not having a go. That's where you should have gotten there, sort of thing. You've got to be, what's the word? You've got to be prepared. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be proactive.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, easy up. So we'll get a bit. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, boys. All right.
All right, Tony.
Sorry I'm late. I had to just had to nip down with that shed and get some coke out, for me, yes. Me Disaronno. I got to get my priorities right. Sorry, guys.
That's nice.
Oh.
Right,
well,
Pete,
then, Tony, yep.
I've got a question for you, Pete, right?
Go on.
I've already asked John this question. Now, it's going to be controversial. It's splitting a lot of opinions, this guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I did put a video out earlier. You retweeted it for me. Thank you very much, Pete. Anthony Gordon is the subject, right? So according to sources, according to newspaper reports, Mail on Sunday as well, that we are about to put a bid in for Anthony Gordon. Now, he didn't get on yesterday. He didn't even get off the bench. Lampard was asked about it after the game, and he said nothing about it. He said, I've got no comment to make, and walked away. Now then, that to me suggests they're looking to get him out of the club, because Dan Juma's coming in. They're going to pay a big fee to Villarreal for him for a loan fee. Plus, they're going to pay Dan Juma 100 grand a week. Everton are, right? And they're in all this shit as well, with money-wise. Not least of all, they're in the relegation zone as well, which we all love to see. And we hope they go down. Anthony Gordon, right? Now, if Anthony Gordon comes into the club, I will back him 100%.
Yep.
Now, I've always said Anthony Gordon is a rough diamond. And I think if Eddie Howe can get an extra 20 to 30% of him, Eddie Howe could make him into a fantastic player. The guy's got talent. The young lad, he's only 21, he's got talent. And Newcastle have done their homework on him. They'll have looked to see what he's like on the training ground, what he's like behind the scenes. Out off the football field, he might be a totally different person. He might be a nice, down-to-earth young lad. When he's on the pitch, obviously he gives his all. I can get that out of his game. The thing is, Pete, if Anthony Gordon come into the club, would you be happy?
I would back him. I would give him a chance. I would. It's like you do with any signing that walks through the door. You want to give him that chance. don't you? And you could be right. And he could definitely get the best out of him, because I don't think Lampard is. And it's not just Gordon that's probably been poor for there, but that whole squad has been shocking. And that's going to affect... It's going to have effect on the other players that do normally play well. But because Everton are on an absolute downward spiral at the moment, it's causing the whole team to completely fall to bits. So, yes. Who says, yep, Eddie Howe could probably get the best out of him if he was to come, yeah. So, yes, I would definitely give him a chance if he came.
I mean, what you got to look at as well, not just Eddie Howe, but also his backroom staff, his coaching team. They would just get into him and get the very best out of him, because he'd be ideal for pressing in the intensity game we play, because he's very quick. And I'm sure Eddie Howe, JT, Mad Dog would both get an extra 20 to 30% out of Anthony Gordon. He could become a world beater, and we could have a gem on our hands. Who knows? That's the thing. But until he's actually at the club, then nobody will actually know how good this guy is. The problem is, Lampard, I'm sorry, is not somebody who you want to be coaching you. Him and his backroom staff are probably not helping that team whatsoever, as you said, Pete. That they're an awful team. They're in a rot. But I personally think Everton need to go down, and that's not me being nasty or having to go at them, the Scouse Mackhams, but I think they need to go down, because I think they need to go down and have a reset. Get all that crap out the club, which whoever's going to buy it, I do not know. That if they want to sell Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'm sure AC Milan or Inter Milan will take him on, because there's plenty catwalks for him over there, that's for sure. So he'll be good in Milan, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, especially on the catwalk. He'll be on target there, won't he? Because that's the only target he will be able to hit. But other than that, I think if Anthony Gordon comes in, I think we just back them as simple as. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least we'll give our owners the benefit of the doubt, and Eddie Howe, because they're only looking for good characters.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry about gay crashing that, people. I just thought I wanted to ask you your opinions, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Hi, John, Peter, and John. How's it going? Well, Tony's in here as well. Wilson's playing a lot of football, and he was at the World Cup. I think Isak's time's come. Yeah, we were saying, Tony, just before you came in, Callum Wilson looked a bit lethargic, looked a little bit off the pace now. Is the illness catching up with him at the moment? It looks like it could well be. The last time he scored was against Aston Villa back in October. I think we need to give Callum a break now and start Isak on Tuesday now. I think Isak is starting to look sharp when he's coming off the bench. Let's see how he does if we start him.
Yeah, I mean, I did mention this on my reaction show last night. I think Callum Wilson needs to be taken out the team. He hasn't been his best. Yes, he done the assist for Isak last week against Fulham, which we all know about. Other than that, to me, he's looked well off the pace. I think he needs taken out the team. And I honestly think, and I'm going to back on what I've said a couple of weeks ago, and this was not being disrespectful to Callum Wilson, but I said this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I seriously think in the summer, we will sign another striker. Maybe we'll sign one this window. Maybe we'll still get Marcus Thuram through the door. Who knows? But the thing is, we will sign another striker in the summer. And I think, and I've said this, Callum Wilson will end up being a bench player, and he'll come on if we need a goal. But he'll be like the Selhurst, he'll be on the bench, and he'll be playing second or third choice to whoever's on the football field at the time. But he's there if you need a goal, throw him on. Go on, Callum. Go and score a goal. Go and do the business. But I definitely think he needs a rest, Pete. That's for sure. And hopefully it makes him come back fresher and hungrier.
Hopefully it does as well. Liam says, even in previous seasons, we seem to draw against Crystal Palace away a lot. The fact is, 3 games were played this season. After full time, they've ended in 0-0 draws. Would you believe it? All the games so far after full time have ended in 0-0 draws. But again, Palace... Would you say, John, not an easy place to go to at times?
It's not, no. It's been proved. I mean, United couldn't beat them. We couldn't beat them. So, at the end of the day, Palace, you don't know which Palace is going to turn up, don't you? They have beaten some good teams. Think about last season, they beat Arsenal by 3-0, and they were the reason why Arsenal didn't get top 4. And also, if you go to Selhurst Park, it's a tough place to go. Let's be real. Yeah. Spurs done it 4-0. Yeah. And even Man City struggled there as well, by the way. I'm not going to lie. But it's a tough place to go. I mean, Palace, and they want to be safe this season, Palace. You know what I mean? That's why Vieira made it tough for us. Yeah. It was frustrating yesterday. We had to ask ourselves the question, were we good enough on the day to win the game? Not really, no, because you didn't win the game. Simple as that. But one thing I'm going to say, Pete, right? I mean, we haven't got to play Palace again. So it'd be the least of our problems there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. I mean, yeah, I think with Palace, I think they have done well against a lot of the big teams. Against lower teams, they have dropped points against them. That happened against Southampton. Well, that was in the FA Cup. They got battered 3-0 of Fulham on their home turf. The same with Spurs, even considering Spurs have not been on a really, really great run of form as well themselves. So, a bit of a funny team, yes, Crystal Palace, definitely at the moment. Should have won that game. Another 2 points dropped again. Goals have really dried up since the 0-0 draw against Leeds. They have, and I think hopefully it's now sets the board, the owners, to thinking, right, we need to start getting some time to start trying getting some players in this window now. I really think we're getting. I mean, we had ASM come on to try to change the game. He can do that for you, but on the other side, the only other one we've got's Jacob Murphy. I'm sorry, but he's not going to change a game if you're drawing it, or if you're behind and you need to get back into it. I'm sorry, Murphy's not that kind of player.
Not good enough.
Yeah, John. Okay.
He ain't good enough, Pete. Honestly, you know what I mean? We all know that Murphy Kalakua, it's just not Premiership standard. Do you know what I mean? I mean, how many times he's come on and hardly scored? Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, but look, I'm sure Jake Murphy's a great guy, but he had 6 seasons to come here and show us if he's worth being a regular team. And also as well, when we got taken over, he had to show us the new owners and Eddie Howe that he's worth a spot and he's worth in this project in the team. The answer to that is no, because at the end of the day, he's got a long-term contract with us, right? And now we could be long bad with him. That is the problem. I say just offer what you need. Give him like 5 to 10 million quid and you can have him, because at the end of the day, right, we don't need Jacob Murphy. We need to go to the next level. And for me personally, and I want to win a title. I want to get in the Champions League on a regular basis. I want to win a trophy. Jacob Murphy will not get us there. There's just no way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's just not that kind of player now, is he? We thought the loan spells could have done him good. Meaning you could see the couple of seasons he started probably that he could have done something. But this season, it's really, really not been great at all, has it? If you've got a crossing accuracy of 20-odd%, well, what does that tell you, unfortunately? And again, it comes down to the preview ownership dishing silly contracts out to average players or players who do not deserve that amount of years for a new contract.
Exactly. You got Cardalo long-term contract. Isaac Hayden long-term contract. He's gone to Norwich, hasn't he? Yeah. Now Jacob Murphy long-term contract. Yeah. To me, that's actually all over. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care at all whatsoever. He said we haven't been having bang average players sort of thing for Steve Bruce to work on. And you know what it is, right? They haven't really improved for the last couple of years. And even the sales as well. I mean, the only thing about the sales is shit housey sort of thing from the bench. That's why he got put twice this season. Do you know what I mean? But I hope he gets bought in January. I mean, the plenty of clubs on it should be after Lascelles, by the way.
Should be.
But they're not. You know why? Because he's got 18 months left on his contract. I think they would have get him on a fee. They don't want to pay the fee. They would get him on a fee. So it is what it is, I'm afraid. I mean, again, Lascelles been there since 2014. It's been 9 years. Has he improved as a defender? No, he hasn't.
I mean, we thought he was lost on to look really good under Rafa. But since Rafa's gone, it's just gone tumbling down. Unfortunately, exactly. That's been the thing with Jamal Lascelles. And now you look at why he doesn't get picked. as well. So, yeah, Isak should be getting more starts now. You should be looking to. Did a fan come with a Newcastle fan after the game and he said you need a striker too. I was surprised, but listen to you both explain it. I understand. Absolutely, yeah. On the plus clean sheet and new club record streak. Yeah. Unbeaten in 15 games, Tony. Would you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, I did a show this morning, mentioned this. I mean, you know, it's absolutely fantastic, Pete. I mean, you know, Eddie Howe is now the best English manager, the most unbeaten run of an English manager. He's overtook Pardew, who done it for us in 2011 when he had 14 on game unbeaten run. We've had 15 now under Eddie Howe, and he's the top English manager to do that. Stuart Pearce, our ex-left back, is in third place when he done it with Man City with 13 game unbeaten run. So the top three is dominated technically by Newcastle United. Even though Pearce done it for Man City, but Pearce is still the next player, and you know what a great player Psycho was, by the way, even when he was with us for a couple of years. But yeah, it's an excellent. Eddie Howe's done really well, Pete, and you know, as I say, yes, it's disappointing to have a draw against Palace, but when you look at it as well, it's not really disappointing because when you think Man United went there and ended up with a draw, so it's not a bad result really, and it's a positive because we've got a point. If we'd got beat, that's your negative, but we got a point, and that is a positive, and that's what everybody should look at, and what people should think about as well. 12 months ago, we were third bottom of the Premier League.
Yep.
We were fighting to stay in this division. We are now third top in the Premier League. Who would have thought that in 12 months? Because I'll tell you now, if somebody had said to me, we'll be in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup and third top this time next year, I would have just laughed at them and said, it's all right, keep smoking what you're smoking because, you know, you'd be better off having that, have your happy backy for all I care. But do you know what? You know, I never thought we would be. If I was honest, Pete, I would have thought we maybe would have been about 8th to 10th at this stage, and I would have been quite happy with that. But where we are, yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon, and I'm keeping my feet on the ground because I still said before the season started that we would finish 7th in the Premier League and get the Europa Conference League spot. And if we do end up in 7th place, do you know what? I don't care because I haven't had my hopes built up. And I look at it and think, right, okay, it's exactly where I said we would finish 7th. But, you know, there's no reason why we can't stay in the top 4. We are 6 points ahead of Spurs. Spurs are going to go to the Cottage tomorrow night, and that ain't going to be an easy game for Tottenham Hotspur.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
And Conte's under a huge amount of pressure. But do Spurs stick or twist with Conte because he's out of contract at the end of the season? So do they sack him, pay him off? Or do they think, do you know what, let's keep him till the end of the season and then go elsewhere?
Yeah, could possibly well do. I think he might run his contract down. I think they will keep him. Definitely need to side 2 attacking midfielders and possibly a couple of strikers. Yeah, I agree. I think that centre midfield needs a bit of. I think we could do with another CDM as well, as we've been talking upon as well. Everton look a really broken team with that defeat at West Ham. I mean, I see the seeds more protest against the ownership. You can tell how
just getting just ridiculous, Pete. I mean, but you see, we were getting ridiculed for having to go at Ashley and having to go at Steve Bruce. But because they're doing it and they're stopping the players, they're blocking the roads off so the players can't get through. You know, we weren't doing that to the players.
No, we would never do that.
But nothing said about it. Nothing said about it, Pete. Nothing said about it. Do you know why? Because it's not Newcastle United, it's Everton. They get away with it. But because it's us, they don't like us. That is the one thing, and that is the problem. They do not like us.
Absolutely, it is.
And you know what it is, guys?
I'll just give
go on, sorry, Tony. They don't like us,
yeah,
but we are loving it because we're in third.
Yep. What's up?
I've got some good stats here for you, Pete, which you'll be interested in, and it concerns Mr. Nick Pope.
Yeah, nice
and
one.
This is his season stats so far. So 20 appearances, 12 clean sheets, 10 wins, 1 loss. He's made 51 saves in those 20 games, 9 punches, 16 high claims. Sweeper clearances, he's had 20 of them, 131 throwouts and 108 goal kicks. And he's also picked up 3 yellow cards in the process. and he's had 384 passes. He has 19.2 passes per match, and his long balls are accurate by 82%.
Wow, that's just so good, isn't it?
And for somebody we paid 10 to 12 million pound for, and a lot of people, and I had people laughing at me saying, you're saying Nick Pope, he's crap, that keeper. I don't know what you're saying for.
Not.
Well, I hope they're laughing now, because I'll tell you what, he should be England's number one. On current form, he should be England's number one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it's not Pickford's fault where Everton are. It's a team effort, But the thing is, Nick Pope on stats and on form alone should be top of the pile for England. He's even ahead of Ramsdale.
Yeah. Liam says, if anyone wants him, then I will trust him to get the best out of him. He's regarding the Anthony Gordon.
I'm open to the idea, actually.
What we need to discuss on there, Tony, is Joe Linton, who did very well again yesterday for me. His skills on the ball, his holder play, his passing was really, really good again. But this discipline needs sorting out from him as well, because that's 7 yellow cards that he's picked up. And as some of them have coming on from starting to lash out, he's going to have to be careful. He's going to get himself sent off in one of these games. You can feel it if he doesn't sort this out. Once he wins the free kick, what he should do is just walk away from the incident and concentrate, right, my team's got a free kick. He doesn't need to lash out like that. He's been doing this quite a few times now this season. He's running the risk of a red card at one point. It could easily happen. Tony.
Yeah, I'm surprised Petey's getting away with it, to be fair. I mean, there's no harm in having a bit of aggression in the game, but the one thing you don't do is make it obvious and be too aggressive, because that is going to bite you in the backside one day, because it's going to come back and it's going to hurt you. And it could be a mega important game we're playing in. Say, for instance, if we needed a win to stay in that top 4 for the season, and he gets sent off in that game, and we end up losing that game, and then you lose a top 4 place. That's the difference. That could be important. So he needs to keep his cool. Don't take too much of his aggression out of the game, but just say, look, when things get heated, walk away. It's easy to do. Walk away,
Walk away.
But sometimes it is hard, because, I've played football myself. I know what it's like, When I was a goalkeeper, I had a striker. I saved the ball and he kicked into me, and I got up and I pushed him over. I got sent off for it. But he was lucky I only pushed him, because I felt like punching him, to be fair. Because I was really angry, because I had the ball. He had no reason to kick out, but he still kicked me. So I got up in anger and really gave him a good old shoving. I got sent off for it, and I took my punishment. I got a bollocking off the manager at full time. What the hell was I doing? But I took my punishment on the chin, and but he told me to calm my aggression down. I did calm it down, but it was always there. But the same with Joe Linton, he just needs to keep his cool a little bit more, but don't take his aggression away from him completely, because if you take away too much of his aggression, you'll lose the competitive edge that Joe Linton will have. Yeah. So you've got to keep a little bit of it there, but you've got to manage it. That's the thing. It's all about managing your aggression. Manage the level of it. It's easy to lose your head. We've all done it.
It is, yeah.
But you just got to manage it. And I think Eddie Howe will probably sit him down and explain it to him and just say, look, just cool it down a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. The White Trout says he needs to be signed for the right price. Everton will look likely dumb money for him. Well, we'll see. Arsenal, another amazing win, well deserved on the balance of play. Yep, that keeps us in the hunt for 4th or 3rd or 2nd. If Everton Liam thinks if Everton go down, it could have Leeds United written all over it.
They could well do. They could be in League One, couldn't they? Double relegation.
I tell you what it is, right? I mean, Everton's having a new stadium, guys, next season, I believe. Near the docks.
Well, it'll be the best stadium in the Championship, John, that's for sure, won't it?
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be. Paul, I tell you what, though. I mean, I don't know if you watched it go to the next stage, Pete. Right, that's Everton fans trying to copy Newcastle with the flags.
Oh. Oh.
What do you think of that, man?
No competition, John.
No competition at all whatsoever. It's just
absolutely
ridiculous.
Absolutely. Oh, White Trouchy says, I hope that horny grant's on the night.
Oh, there was one on John's earlier called Fanny Pack.
Oh, but honestly, Archer's face on Friday, he looked absolutely mortified.
She said she'll take her teeth out for him.
And once she said you wanted to meet him in Shearer's Bar for the game yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Archer scored.
It is.
He did,
but bless him, he looked absolutely mortified, would you believe it? Oh,
well, she takes her teeth out. She can't give him a love bite because there's nothing
there. Oh, Jesus.
Did you see the Liverpool game when it came on yesterday? I thought, we can't see the shining light. That was Klopp's teeth because he was covered up. He had his scarf around him.
Crazy, man.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Teeth.
Absolutely. This summer's going to be our biggest window in our history. Yep, not just in terms of getting players in, but we know there's a canny few coming at the end of their contracts, and we'll know they'll definitely be out the door. That's going to be... That'll be Dummett. What's that?
Harry's comment on the bottom. Doesn't bit, just sucky sucky.
Oh no! Oh Jesus! But as I was saying, in terms of what Liam's was saying, it's going to be the biggest. I.e., we'll get some more quality signings in, but there's a lot of players that will be out the door come the summer. I.e., Dummett's out of contract, he'll go. Mark Gillespie out of contract, he'll go. Clark, when he returns from his loan spell, he'll go. Richie's another one. I think he'll be away come the end of the season. Shelby's a possibility as well. Because his contract is actually due up come the end of the season as well. Now, I think he might be 2 starts away from a year extension. But what happens if we bring another CDM in? It means Shelby could be down the pecking order. That's the thing. But personally, in regards to Shelby, I think we need to move him on.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, I was just going to say about Kieran Clark.
Mm-hmm.
He's primed to go to Sheffield United on a permanent move. That deal may not happen now because there may be a transfer embargo put on Sheffield United over some payments.
Oh.
So even though he's there on loan, he may not get the move at the end of the season to Sheffield United because if they're on that transfer embargo, he can't sign even if he's a free agent. So he will be in limbo. But I tell you what, I'm really pissed off at West Ham, Pete. I'm really annoyed at them because they have just screwed us over well and truly, the twats.
Go on then.
Because they went and sold Craig Dawson to Wolves. Well, Wolves wanted Lascelles, didn't they? So why the hell didn't West Ham just shut their mouths and say, we'll just keep a hold of Dawson and let Lascelles go to Wolves?
No,
so I'm not happy with them over that. So, yeah. But there's been one thing come out tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Stefan de Vrij. Have you heard of him? The Dutch defender? Centre-back.
Mm-hmm.
He plays for Inter Milan. Apparently, AC Milan are looking at him on a free. But apparently, he's been strongly linked, and this is according to DIDN of Italy, that Newcastle are in the driving seat to sign him. But I'm thinking, how would we sign him? Because he's 30-year-old. We wouldn't sign somebody that old, even if he is on a free transfer. I mean, would you take him?
He looks decent.
I'd take him 100%. I really would take him because he's a decent defender. What you have to understand, this guy has won the Italian league under Antonio Conte. Yeah, and they've always been in the top 3 in the league this season as well. He's one of the better players. He plays in the back 3 alongside Zinnia and Dumfries as well. So he played in the back 3. So, and he's a part of that as well. So he's coming on 31. And if he does come to Newcastle, right, according to reports in Italy, now the media here, I'm not going to say out. Newcastle's not going to say out. It's coming on the Italian side. Do you know what I mean? But if it comes from a place called Calcio Mercato, which is the 24-hour, 7-day-a-week one, don't take them seriously because they took a lot of BS at most times. Mercato. The ones I believe in Italy is Gazzetta dello Sport, which is based in Milan, Corriere dello Sport, which is in Rome, and Tutti Sport, which is based in Turin, right? Those are 3 I'd quite believe. Out of the 3, La Gazzetta is the one who's quite liable, right? If you hit on the right there. But one thing I will say, right, I mean, if it's Calcio Mercato, I said it in Italian weird, by the way, please don't believe that. But
no, it's not them, John. It's DAZN, the channel DAZN.
Yeah, DAZN. Yeah.
DAZN Italy, they've put that out.
Oh, all interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, not nice for any club to get relegated, but by God, I hope Everton do. There's been a few times in the past that I've seen a few Everton fans make comments goading about how poor we were under Ashley. Well, how does it feel now is what we can say.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder who is now. This is another. Do you think we should give Leicester the 60 million they want this week for James Maddison or wait until the summer? I say sign him, as I think he will be the difference between Champions League and Europa League.
Yeah, definitely. He came back yesterday and he came on for 21 minutes. He came on the 69th minute. I would say, yeah, definitely go for it. Why not? Go for broke and go and get him. Get him on a 7-year contract and pay it over 7 years, like Chelsea are doing with Mudryk on an 8.5-year deal. I think Chelsea have hired Lee Charnley or Justin Barnes because they're the good one. Well, Justin Barnes, it would probably be who's giving out the long contracts down at Chelsea because he used to do that in Newcastle. But all seriousness, no, I would go out and get him, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
And go and pay the money because he's got that creativity in him. But we're also being strongly linked with Edson Alvarez as well. And apparently, the number 6 is actually our priority in this window.
Yeah.
So we wait and see.
Absolutely. Liam says, I backed us to win the Carabao Cup at the start, but I predicted us to finish 8th. The Carabao Cup is still a possibility for us to win it. We're still in there. We're in the semi-final. I believe we can do Southampton in both the legs, and we're going to Wembley.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I said to John before the season started. I said, we'll win the Carabao Cup, we'll finish 7th, and we'll get in the semi-finals, the FA Cup. And John looked at me and said, are you serious? And I said, yes, John, I'm not. I said, yeah, I'm being serious, John. And he thought I was joking. I said, no, I'm not joking, John. And I'll tell you what, if we do finish, if we did finish 7th and won the Carabao Cup, as Meatloaf once said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Absolutely. Exactly. Before the start of the season, I'd have happily taken the Europa Conference League, but to be sitting in the top 4 for the last few months, now it really has me wanting to it all. Nice. Do you think Pope will ever get the England shirt? He should do, but because it's you-know-who, he's sticking with his arms. Yes. Not just say because Pope is our keeper, but he was Burnley's best for a number of years in the Premier League, so to sign him for only 10 million was an excellent piece of business. Absolutely it was. Joe Linton needs anger management. Even when Pope was relegated at Burnley, he conceded less goals than Pickford. He did, actually. Yes, he did. Luca's in the house. Hope you're well, Luca. Why isn't ASM as good as he was under Bruce? He isn't as effective as he used to be. Go on and think, John. What do you think? Why do you think that is?
Why he's actually as good actually under Bruce, effective. I just don't think he's playing much games, to be fair. And
well, he has in a way.
But is he really happy bits on the subs bench all the time, or is he not 100% match fit? I don't know because at the end of the day, he needs to have game time. Do you know what I mean? Is he happy in Newcastle? None of the fans don't know that. That is the thing. That's the 2 key questions. Well, 3 key questions. A, is he happy in Newcastle? 2, is he the main man anymore? And does Eddie fancy him? Right? And 3, we need to see the best from ASM. And I don't think he's the main man anymore like he was under Steve Bruce. So,
Well, I think, because of who we are, who we're going to be bringing in, more quality. He knows that there will be a time he's now fighting for his place, which he is at the moment, by the way.
Do you think, Pete, though, right, with the SM, right, on that question that was asked there, do you think because when he played under Cabbage Head, because I call him Cabbage Head because that's what he is, if you saw Steve Bruce on a trampoline, you think it was a spring cabbage. but in all seriousness, and I'll be serious now, but with the SM under Cabbage Head and under the fat cockney, you know who, he looked a great player because we had some shit players in that team. Yes, and shit players can make a great player look even better, look fantastic. Now, because we've added a few bits of quality to this team now, ESM, yes, he hasn't had a huge run in the team because he's been out injured, ill, or whatever. But maybe we're not. Now he's not looking that player that can be the standout player for us now. Yes, he was unplayable against Man City. He ripped Kyle Walker a new arsehole, basically. He was all over Kyle Walker. He did well at Wolves. But after that, once he got the injury and that, he hasn't been the same since he's come back. But I'll tell you what, Pete, I asked John this earlier, and I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you think ESM's lost a bit of confidence? Because I look at him now, and yes, I like the way he tracks back and things like that and tries to get crosses in. But I looked at him yesterday, and he looked pretty lost on that pitch yesterday. He looked like
did a bit.
The concentration's not there, and he doesn't look confident anymore. I mean, what's your thoughts, Pete?
Yeah, I can understand. He did. Looks like he struggled a little bit in terms of going forward with the ball. I thought in terms of trying to get in the box, possibly could it be down to because he's lost his starting place? It could be. We are better side now than we what?
White Trout Channel.
Oh,
at 8:33.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get onto that in a moment. We are better side now than we were under Bruce. Yeah. Joe Linton needs to tint it with David Batty / Check Diotti style of play in our midfield instead of losing the plot. Yeah. Nice new stadium for matches against the likes of Blackpool, Millwall, and Sheffield Wednesday if Everton get relegated.
Tell you what, Millwall enjoy going there because I like ripping seats out, don't they?
Oh, Archer melted over that granny. Oh God, he does it just bit sucky. There's that one you said there, Tony.
Yeah.
And here's the one now. That granny was sending sexy vibes, quite frankly. I was a little turned on.
Hey!
Deary me, White Trout. Wow.
Wow.
Good grief. Hi, says Robert. J's in the house. Geordie J. No, Robert. Millwall has a chance to go up this season. Yeah, but
they will. I mean, they got a good chance. They got a good chance this season. They got Boa as well.
But I do not like their fan base at all. I do not like their fan base at all. Who think Millwall's?
Oh, Millwall, yeah.
Who thinks it's okay to go and slash opposition fans across the face? They've done that before. I just didn't like their fan base. I think they're thugs. Majority of them are thugs. There might be some nice fans, but I've seen some thugs.
The thing is, Pete, right? I remember back in the 80s, right? And obviously, I know you're too young to remember that. But the thing is, you weren't even born in the 80s, Pete. But
no.
yeah, because you're just a youngster, that's why. Right. But back in the 80s, Pete, Chelsea and Millwall, when they used to come to Newcastle, and if there's any older fans of the chat, they'll probably remember this as well. But when Chelsea and Millwall used to come to Newcastle, they used to board all the shops up in the city centre because they used to put the windows out every match game. Millwall were terrible, so were Chelsea. But the thing is, can you imagine if Millwall did come up, them in West Ham together? Jesus, that would be a bloodbath, wouldn't it?
Well, Liam says I hope Millwall go because of West Ham. God, that is some feisty thing I've seen
Isn't it?
before. Absolutely as well. So yeah, absolutely. But again, we've got to look at the chances again, Tony. And I'm pretty sure all the chances we had, they were just easily caught by Guaita, the keeper. Sorry.
Crazy, man.
I'm looking it up because there's a funny name coming. Right, then, yeah, Tony.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, so they were coming into Guaita, but the thing is, though, Pete, we were shooting everything straight into his arms. And the problem is, if you shot it left or right, give him something to save. Because then if he parries it out, whoever's in the box can put it straight back in the back of the net if they're there, close to the keeper. So anything parried out could have been in the back of the net, but we just kept putting it into his arms.
Yeah, that was the thing. We just didn't work him at all. That was the frustrating thing as well.
But I wonder if Eddie House had the team back in the training ground today and he's probably showed them a video and said, look what you're doing. Why aren't you shooting either side of that goal?
Should be. Should be.
Could this be the thing, though, Pete? Could these players be so frustrated that we did not put that ball in the back of the net on Saturday that against Southampton we could go out there and thrash them 4-0 because they want to take revenge on somebody? Look what happened when we had them 2 lacklustre games against Palace and Bournemouth, and then we went out and smashed Brentford 5-1.
Yep.
Then we beat Fulham 4-1 as well. So we could do the same to Southampton, go out there and give them a hiding.
Yeah, absolutely. Was that the name Tony had or not?
Yeah, that was on John's channel. John read the comment out as well.
Oh, man. He's allowed.
Yeah, absolutely. Good grief. Jesus, we'll do the player ratings very, very shortly. So remember to get your ratings down in the live chat. What you'll be scoring the players on as well. I think there will be some high ratings, but not many. I don't think we'll get a low rating. Maybe 1 or 2, you could say. That is the thing. But defensively, we were solid again. John, midfield, we did lose the ball a few times, but again, we rectify that as well, John. It was just the up front, the final third was just a massive letdown for us.
Absolutely. You look at the midfields we got, in the midfield for you got Bruno, right? We've got Shaw Longstaff and we've got Joe Linton, right? We've got 3 in midfield, How many of those players are actually CDMs? Because you haven't got a CDM, and that is exactly what you need, a CDM. Just protect the back 4. Because all those midfields are quite offensive, a lot. And that's no disrespect, but we need a CDM. Someone like an Alvarez, as Alvarez from Ajax. Someone like a Corney for Gladbach. We need a strong CDM. Protect that back 4. But then again, right, our back 4 is great, but we could do with a CDM. Someone's going to look after the back 4 to protect the back 4, and that's what we need. Then if we do get a CDM, who do we drop out of the 3 after Bruno, Longstaff, and Willock? Well, Bruno's got to stay, right?
Yep.
It's between Willock and Longstaff. And I think Eddie quite like Longstaff. That is the thing. But put Joe Linton there as well. And up front, Joe Willock, he bossed it again, but unfortunately, the 2 chances he had, should have scored that. Miggy was one dimension last night, I'm not going to lie. And Callum Wilson, as well documented, he looks way off the pace. So we have got problems, especially up front as well. And that's what we need to reselect on Tuesday, because I want to beat these on Tuesday night. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that means scoring goals, And this is why Isak's going to have to start. But I'm sure Eddie will have them in and say to them, look, come on, why are you not scoring goals? Come on. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we need. We need a real striker in January. That's what we need. Get them in now, fast track it, get someone in there, right? And we need to bully a top quality striker to come to Newcastle. Look where we are in the league, third. We're third in the league, right? We're still in a project, right? And say we'll win a title within 3 or 4 year time. And then we got some good players there, and it's been food. So they want a piece of the pie.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Tony Willock should have been taken off? I thought Willock did well in the first half, particularly. I thought Longstaff was anonymous in the second half for me. I thought he was quite non-existent, I thought. And Willock looked very disappointed when he came off as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised when Willock come off, if I'm honest with you. But and I was wondering why, because he was getting down that left wing quite well. And, you know, the ball was going through too. And, sorry, that's a comment.
That's a comment.
But no, the ball was going to him and he was getting down the left and cutting in quite well. But I was surprised when he's taken off because, like you say, Sean Longstaff's second half, he was quite anonymous. But yeah, but Eddie Howe seemed to stop Willock and sort of explain to him why he took him off. The only thing I can think of why he took him off is because he wants to save some energy from him for Tuesday night at Southampton. And maybe that's what he explained to him, because he seemed quite happy after Eddie Howe explained it. And then Mad Dog gave him a pat on the back as well. So he didn't seem as if he was madly upset. I think because he got the result, he got the reasons from Eddie Howe, he must have realised and thought, all right, okay, I'll take it on the chin then and just, yeah. But he shouldn't have been taken off, in my opinion. It should have been Longstaff. But, you know, we don't get paid millions for them decisions, Pete.
Well, that's it. We don't do it. They certainly don't. And where I'm up to with me. Now West Ham at Upton Park, so they imagine the job the police will have on their hands. Oh, God almighty. I heard West Ham rejected a bit for Harrison Ashby from the two now. I've not heard anything about that. So
yeah, because apparently we're not going in for Fresneda. Apparently we're
it looks like I think Arsenal now could be the favourites from now. I remember far back when Millwall fans were clashed with West Ham back in 2009 during the League Cup match, absolutely as well. Andy, good evening. Hope you're well. All the bad lads on this channel. Champions League, yeah, will come again. I'm not going to say the name. And a real striker, John. We haven't had a prolific scorer for years. Will cost a lot of money, but how big is the club ambition? Well, it's big now. The ambition now
it has to be massive, because look, at the end of the day, we should be on a 5-year project, and we're way ahead. Do you know what I mean? But I trust the board, Dan Ashworth, Eddie Howe's judgment. Yeah, if you get a strike in January, okay, cool, that is fine. But we need one. But if we don't, we have to go with what we've got. And hopefully we have to wait for the summer. So, look, I trust the club. I trust Eddie Howe. I'm not being negative. We look good. But we get a striker in, cool. That is amazing.
Andy says we should have got Haaland instead of Man City. We are massive.
Yeah, but they had it.
No, well,
they had it. They had a clause, so didn't the Man City to get him. So that was why. I'll tell you what, I've come across an interesting article, right? And this goes on what I was saying about in number 6. So I don't know if you've heard of the journalist called Dean Jones.
Yeah,
rings a bell, I think.
Heard of him, yeah. I've seen
on so Dean Jones obviously must work for the Athletic as well, I think. He said Newcastle United are targeting Edson Alvarez, and he could become a talking point for the remainder of the window, says Dean Jones. He says they're in the market for a defensive midfielder, and the 25-year-old's been outlined as a potential target by Eddie Howe. Yeah. Further from the Athletic also say we need a number 6 base to the end, and we've looked at and watched in the outfits radar. They were looking at Guado Corney as well, alongside Alvarez, as Howe weighs up who he wants. But Alvarez has 2.5 years left on his current contract. And the Eredivisie champions turned down a £43 million bid from Chelsea. But yeah, he thinks we could just about be going in for Alvarez. So who knows? I mean, if we got Alvarez, that would be a hell of a signing. Would you have him, Pete? Because he's a great player.
Yeah, absolutely, I would.
And he can play centre back as well, by the way.
Well, that's good if you could have a player
that can play in
back
more. Four.
Yeah, absolutely as well, definitely. Andy says I'd offer Haaland 150k a week and one of me sausage buns sauce the lot. How can he refuse the big Norwegian?
Oh
man. Yeah.
Robert says, Pete,
No,
when will
me
you
and
be
Pete
doing a
know
video?
about your sausage buns.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've seen it as well. Well, Robert says, when will you be doing a video for Tuesday night? That'll be out tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure what time, but that definitely will happen tomorrow, definitely. So do keep an eye
You're
out.
going to Southampton, Pete, are you?
Just the home game. I've got me tickets for that, the home game, but not
Or
the
you're not
away
going
one.
to the away game? You haven't got
It's
the luxury of what John's got.
No. And again, well, it's too far for a midweek game at the moment. I know people said, take the time off work, but I wouldn't have probably got them anyway. The loyalty points, they start them off too high, and by the time it just comes down, they're gone. That's the problem.
I mean, John's going with these business cards tomorrow night. They've come from Vista, and he's going to go around handing them out, saying, "Look, this is my channel. Subscribe."
What happened to the Emirates? John says Mason.
Yeah, his team lost.
Well, but the thing, but speaking of that, Arsenal's win against Manchester United keeps us third. That is
Exactly.
that's another positive thing. It keeps us still in third place.
And knocks their goal difference by one against. So there you go.
There you go. Absolutely, yes. And Ketia now started trying making a name for himself for Arsenal since he's just got the injuries. Really starting to impress now. He's starting to get some goals for himself. And I thought the goal from Saka was outstanding. Wow.
Yeah.
The way he just picked that was just brilliant, wasn't it? So, yeah. Well, then, let's get onto the player ratings now. So, let's go out and do it. So, we'll start off with you, Mr. Sinclair. So, we will start off with that man there.
He did have a lot to do, right? But that save 10 minutes ago, I think it's like 15 minutes ago, something like that. He had nothing to do. He made a cracking save from Mattea, right? But that's a massive stop for me, right? For me, I mean, I know a lot of people would have given him a 10 because he had a lot of things to do. Apart from that save, I'll give him an 8 because that save could make a difference getting into the top 4 this season. 8 out of 10 for Nick Pope.
Absolutely. Again, remember to get your ratings down in the live chat as well. Are you disappointed that Man United lost? Okay. Well, absolutely. Well, Tony, you could take Mr. Captain on the day yesterday, Mr. Kieran Trippier.
Yeah. I thought he had a good game, a steady game. So a couple of his corners were had too much pace on them, and they weren't on target. But other than that, he had a solid enough game. I give him an 8.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Philip's going for an 8 for Pope. So again, we'll find the ones with the comments for Trippier. Right. I'll take this man there, Mr. Fabian Schär, and I thought he was outstanding again for me yesterday, Fabian Schär. Again, I think he won a lot of air duels yesterday as well. I thought really, really good again from Fabian Schär for me yesterday. I'm going to give Fabian Schär a 9. I thought he was superb again for me. I think a 9 for Fabian Schär. So there. Okay, John. His partner, the Rolls Royce.
Yep, he took some few knocks as well, didn't he? But he got back up, didn't make a fuss of it, and he got on with the game as well. He had a chance wide. Again, he's been dominant alongside Fabian Schär. I think he's been outstanding this season. We haven't lost a game when he played. I think it's something like 10 wins and 8 draws. And remember this correctly, I could be wrong on that one. But again, defensively sound, gets on with the job in hand. I know Todd's going to give him a 9, but I'm going to give him an 8.
Nice one. Yeah, Andy says, I said Pope 8. He said, bless you, my son. Trivia 8, Fabian Schär a 9 as well. Who's your favourite player, Man U, John?
Oh, come on.
Botman an 8.5 and 7,000 for coolessness, and Philip's going for an 8 for Botman as well. Okay, Tony, the man at left back, Mr. Dan Burn, the man, he's from Blythe.
Yeah, I thought Dan Burn didn't have a bad game, to be fair. I thought he played all right, steady, solid. No tugging the shirts this week. But no, I thought Dan Burn done all right. And for me, I'll give Dan Burn a 9. Because he linked up well on that wing with Willock, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he did as well. So, yeah.
Since that goal, he's got a lot more confidence about him now.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's done a well work on that left-hand side as well. So there you are. Right, we'll go now into the midfield now. So I will start with that man there, Mr. Bruno. And I thought he did what he had to do at times. Couple of sloppy passes, I thought, a little bit. But you know what Bruno's like. He helps our midfield out a lot. He really, really does as well. So I think I'll go with an A for Bruno as well. A couple of sloppiness, but I thought he rectified himself a lot of the time in the game as well. 9 for Burns, says Philip as well. Right, John, one of the locals, Mr. Sean Longstaff.
Look, listen, don't get us wrong. It's just steady, right? He's got great energy and he keeps things sticking for me. But like I said earlier, I mean, like, look, at the end of the day, it's just like quality on the day, and it's people let down as well. But look, at the end of the day, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. The reason for that, because it's just his final balls let him down. I have to mark him for that as well, you see. So
yeah,
he wasn't great. He wasn't great. He wasn't poor. 6.
Yeah, I think the second half he disappeared, I thought. Yeah, I think that's quite reasonable. I thought he did disappear in the second half for me. Bruno was 7. Bruno 7 didn't look comfortable. I bet John has got his half and off shit for the Newcastle Man United final. Sean Longstaff for 5, says Philip. Interesting as well.
He's not denying it either, look.
Hey, get quiet there, John.
He's not. So you got a half and half, John, have you? Half black and white and half red, have you?
No, not me.
Good. Okay, Tony. Okay, Tony. Mr. Joe Willock.
Yeah, I thought Joe Willock had a terrific game yesterday. I was impressed with his energy. He's running. He linked up well on that left wing. I thought he had a great game, and it was just unlucky that he got taken off, I thought. So I give Willock an 8.
Yep, that's good. Really good for me. So back to me. I'll take that man there on the left, Mr. Joe Linton. Very well again. Skillful, passing, faultless completely. He just needs to sort his discipline and react out for me. Because there will one time where he could completely lose his head completely and he could get himself sent off. And the concerning thing is he's got 7 yellows this season. And I think the cutoff point for 10, for the 10 yellow card for 2 game ban is still quite a way away for me. I think it's still quite a way away, which is a little bit concerning. So he needs to start with sorting himself out. Don't get yourself too heated. Just walk away. You've won the free kick for your team and just leave it as that. But Joe Linton, I would say 8 for Joe Linton as well. Let's go for a 7 for Joe Linton. So there. Okay, John. Biggie.
I know a lot of people going to give him 7 out of 10, right? But for me, I have to assess this guy. Look, yesterday, I like him. And, he's got a run of energy as well. But he's one dimension last week. He looked at it last week at me, sort of thing, doing the same things all the time. And he ran out of ideas as well later on in the game. But he forced a couple of corners. But at the end of the day, he's not making the same threat or posing a threat in the final third of late. I've noticed that. And you know what it is, right? I mean, that place is his to keep. But yesterday, I just thought that I would look something different. And what I saw last night is just hasn't changed a bit for me. So I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, I think that's quite reasonable. Yeah. Have a 6. Joe 7 would have been 8 till his temper got him. So a yellow. Willock a 7.5. Has Klopp had the Peters in it because his teeth are so white they are false teeth?
That's brilliant, isn't it, that one? He might have had them spray painted. He might went to the garage and they might have said, open your gob. There you are.
Oh, man.
Right now.
Oh,
spray paint job.
Hey!
Right. Okay, Tony. Last one in the starting 11. Wilson. Callum Wilson.
Yeah, I thought he was off the pace, Pete, to be fair. Wasn't impressed with him, to be fair. I think he needs to take out the team, and he gets a 6 for me.
Yeah, quite reasonable. If he scored a lower rating, again, that would be understandable as well.
I'm being fair with him on a 6, I think.
Yeah, I think 6. Yeah, it is quite reasonable. He did look a little bit off the pace as well. He's had them sandblasted. Oh God! Oh, Phillips got for 4 for Wilson. Yeah, he did look really off his game.
I tell you what, if it came to me on Callum Wilson, I would have given them 4 as well.
Yeah, reasonable.
I would give them 4.
Absolutely. Right, we'll go into the substitutes. So we'll start off with that man there, Alexander Isak. And he looked sharp when he come on. Again, didn't wake the keeper, that was the thing, but I thought he looked very sharp when he came on. For me, he has to go in on Tuesday. I think we need to take Callum Wilson out the firing lineup. I think we need to give Isak a start against a Premier League side in this competition now and see what he can do as well. I'll give Isak a 7. He looked sharp for me when he came on. Again, shots at the keeper, but he looked sharp for me, Isak, and that's why I'll give him the 7. Okay, John, the next substitution was ASM.
He didn't do a lot so far. I didn't think he had the ball for the first 10-15 minutes at all. I didn't realise that, but I'm not gonna lie. But he didn't get enough of the ball, and and he's trying to make things happen, but I'm afraid it hasn't worked out for him at all whatsoever for me. Look, at the end of the day, 1.5 chance, that was about it. That went over. But other than that sort of thing, worked on defensively, didn't do much. I'm going to give him a 6 for me.
Yeah, I think 6 reasonable. Let's go for a 7 for Isak as well. Well, the last substitution, Tony, but he wasn't on for long. That was, you know,
it's
who.
not worth it, is it? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So probably just down the middle, bog standard 5.
Yeah.
More than likely as well. Yeah. Yes. 5. Okay, that's all the players that we've done. So we'll go next, and it's me. So I'll get into the fans, and the fans just get a 10 as always. We always keep going. We always sing our hearts out from start to finish away from home. I see the clips as well on other people's channels, the build-up as well in the concourse bit of Selhurst Park. And again, it was just lightning. I thought definitely, and again, we just sing from start to finish throughout the whole of the game. Fans, 10 as I mentioned, 10 out of 10. That's what you got to give. Yep, 10. Andrew's going for a 2 for Maxi. Ooh, Andrew's a bit harsh.
Andrew commented on my video tonight, and he says he does not want Anthony Gordon anywhere near Newcastle. But the thing is, Andrew, yes, he's a bit of shithousery, but he may do the job at Newcastle. Remember, Eddie Howe is great at getting players who don't perform well to play out of their skins. Look what he's done to Joe Linton. Look what he's done to Almiron. Look what he's done to Longstaff. And even St. Maximum to a T as well. So just think, if Anthony Gordon comes in, just think what Eddie Howe can do to this guy. And remember, he's only 21. And I'm sure Eddie Howe will knock out most of them diving in his game, and he'll knock that out of them and say, look, you don't need to dive, just carry on. And I'll tell you what, we could end up with a great player, Andrew. So just a process, Andrew. If we do sign him, just give him the backing like we all do. We'll all give everybody a backing 100%.
Absolutely. Oh, right, we've got another funny name.
Oh, no.
He says, I would take Anthony Gordon. He just needs a reality check with a shit attitude. Well, yeah, if his attitude's not right, because, again, Everton are just in an absolute pigsty at the moment. They're crumbling, and I believe they are going to be going down at the end of the season. I know West Ham have been poor, but Everton just look all over the place at the moment. They do not look like winning a game. It's a toxic atmosphere at the moment. The fans are really getting on the owners. They want them out. I don't understand why they're not criticising Lampard, because I think he deserves to take criticism, because he's not cut it in the Premier League for me at the moment. He just isn't. I don't care what Tony Gordon is wrong for us. Trust me, says Andrew. Well, The fact is, Andrew, what you're going to be saying if we do get Gordon and he starts playing well?
Yeah, he'll change your tune, because that's what I'm saying, Pete. You know, we got to trust the owners. The owners know what they're doing. And Eddie Howe's not stupid. He looks into characteristics of players. And he may have got reports that this guy is actually fine off the pitch, behind the scenes. It might just be on the pitch where he's a little shit. But I'm sure Eddie Howe will knock it out of him. And if he comes in, I mean, if I'm honest, I don't want Anthony Gordon at our club. But if he does come in, we just have to back him and back the process.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we've got to do. I'll be
But
drooling.
there's one thing.
Yep.
Pete.
No, yeah,
there's one thing I did say that I would like to see us do. I think teams are starting to find us out a bit, i.e. Leeds, i.e. Palace, right? They're doing a job now on Miggy, because they know Miggy has to shift from his right foot to his left foot, because that his right foot's too weak, his left foot's the strongest part of his body. Now, what I think Eddie should do is to be a bit clever and to mix it up with the teams as well and give them something to think about. Switch Miggy, put him on the left, because on the left, Miggy, I've always said this, would be devastating. He played there in MLS on the left. He does it for his country and drifts in. He did it under Rafa. So why not get him on the left and give him a go? Because then at least he can whip it in with his left foot.
Absolutely. I'll be drooling over YouTube clips of Diaby, so if you go on to sign Gordon, I'll cry big fat man tears. The thing is, I would love
Diaby. I would love Diaby.
Well, if Howe doesn't knock it out with him, I will.
He's a proper winger, guys. Proper winger.
Well, if Howe doesn't knock him out, I will. Right, two things we just got to rate now. So it's back to you, John, and it's that man there, the referee, Craig Paulson.
I thought I just don't rate this referee at all whatsoever. I mean, some of the decisions he got wrong, shocking, do you know what I mean? Look at the foul on Botman as well. That's poor tackle as well, but got it right. But the one, Trippier got booked for, that was correct. I don't know about him.
I think was it Guaita? I think he was lucky to escape a second yellow in a way.
Absolutely. I think he bottled it. He should have been off. I'll give him a free.
Free. Wow. Free. He could have been off. Yeah, he could
I'll
have
give him
been
a -1.
Yeah.
Referee was a bottler. I see Newcastle linked with forwards like Chris Wigg and Anthony Gordon, and I'm not reading that third one out because I know that one. I didn't fall for that one. I'm glad I didn't fall for that one.
John would have.
Hey.
Who have you fell for? Too many, John.
Oh, he's fell for a few, hasn't he?
Nearly did. I think it's today. I nearly did, but nah.
Oh, was that? Yeah, I know what John you mean, John. Yeah.
I hope you're right about Gordon, Tony. I'm yet to be proven wrong, but I just have a bad feeling. Well, we all like to be proven wrong. That's the thing, and they have, and certainly at times we have been proved wrong.
All I'm doing is I'm just speaking on the way Eddie conducts himself and how he gets these players who don't look great but makes them into better players, and that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm just going off what Eddie Howe does, and
great.
Like I say, if Gordon comes in the club, I'll back him 100%. Like Pete would, like John would, I'm sure they would do the same. If he turned out not to be a great player, I'm sure the club would jettison him as soon as possible. But I'm sure they've done their homework on them, because Eddie Howe says they do their homework on every player to see the characteristics. That is why we didn't go for Trossard in the end, because we saw him fall out with De Zerbi. The guy's got attitude problems. That's why we didn't sign him. And the reason we don't want Casido as a number 6, because Brighton want far too much money for him. We can go abroad. We can get Alvarez, who's a top-class player in that position, and you can get him for about 45 million quid.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the same with Coney as well.
Yeah,
could be,
where Casido, they want 70-odd million for him. Chelsea have offered 65 million, because they're going in for him. Chelsea as well, for Casido now.
My God almighty.
I'll tell you what, Chelsea are panic buying, but I'll tell you what, I hope they do not finish in the European place, because I want to see how all these players get on next year when there's no European football. The likes of your Mudriks, your Badia Shields, etc. see how they feel next season, because I'll tell you what, I bet there'll be noises that they want out.
Absolutely, possibly will be as well. Right, last one we've got to rate. Edits to you, Tony. You know who.
Eddie Howe. Yeah. I mean, what can we say there? I've got to give the guy 10 because he's the best English manager in the league. The most unbeaten run by an English manager in the league at 15 games. Okay, yeah, we didn't score, but Eddie Howe can't do nothing about that. He's not personally on the pitch. He can only do as much as he can from the sidelines, along with Mad Dog. But at the end of the day, he picks a team that he thinks is going to go out there and win. He respects every team. He did say it would probably be a tough game, but you know what? Fair play to him, and fair play to him, and I give Eddie a 10.
There you are. Spot and Tony, however, if you are to get players in the door before window closes, it must be foreign players, as we may need them in the League Cup if we get injuries. A good point there as well. 9.5 should have made the subs on earlier. Isak made an impact when he came on, absolutely. Not cup tied, I mean, yeah, because some of these, if it was probably from the Premier League, it could be cup tied.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So, yeah, probably abroad. Just sound at the minute a little bit more sensible at the moment. Right, that is all the player ratings done as well. So we'll start to wrap up the show. Again, guys, what we got coming up next on this channel. So tomorrow I will be back for the preview for the first leg of the Carabao Cup away to Southampton. Tuesday will be the watch along. It'll just probably be me because Mr. Sinclair's going down to Southampton, I believe so.
In the home end.
Would you believe it? So you'll have me for the watch along.
I will come on after the game if I can, Pete. Give me a quick chat. I will try, you know what I mean? So I'll do that. Absolutely. And that'd be great.
Absolutely, and as well. And there'll be the watch along, and probably the most likely next day will be the match review and player ratings as well. And we may look to do the Premier League review show at some point next week as well. So again, you will be notified of all on that. Just again, John, where can we find you and what we got coming up?
Okay. You can find us on TikTok, on John Sinclair TV, and also on Facebook, also on YouTube. And if you like to find us on Insta, it's John Sinclair 50, all lower cases. If you want to come on YouTube, same as John Sinclair TV, like I said, and Twitter, John_NUFC42. So tomorrow, I'm trying to get a Southampton fan on for the live preview, sure. But the thing is, right, it's going to be, he said he wouldn't be till 8 o'clock, but I'll still negotiate to see if I can get him on, you know. Otherwise, I'll have to do it slightly earlier. But if not, I'll get him on next week. But it's definitely going to be a preview show. Hopefully, Tony won't be here, unfortunately. He's got things to do. Really be on as well. So, catch us tomorrow.
Nice one. Just quickly run through these great show, guys. As always, says Mighty Mike. Thanks so much. John has been the quietest I've ever seen him waiting for his beard to grow. He's grown a bit of a one, you can tell.
I know.
Great show, lads. Love you, lads. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Cheers, Andy. As much. And Tony, where can we find you and what we got coming up as well?
Yeah, first of all, Southampton, be careful because John, the ladies' man, will be there. So look up, you don't.
Keep it quiet.
I'm joking, John. I'm joking.
I know.
But, they'll have to say to the ladies, sorry, let John through, please. Thank you very much.
Love it. Yes, baby.
It's great, isn't it? So you can find me on Black and White TV, behind me on the screen, and my handles down there, Tony31. Follow me and I'll follow you back. As I say, I've put a pre-recorded out earlier on, all about Anthony Gordon. Are we actually in for him? Because apparently Tottenham and Forest are looking at him as well. I mean, Forest, but never mind. But just check it out and have a look. If you haven't been on the channel, go on, have a look. I've got some great content on there. Give it a like and a subscribe. That would be great. I'm at 296 subscribers now, so I'm 4 away from 300. Tomorrow, I I'm going home to Newcastle, so I'll be in Newcastle tomorrow.
Well,
Nice.
I'm at the stadiums, doing a stadium tour. So what I'll do is I'll do a vlog outside the stadium before I go in, and I'll take some video footage of the stadium tour, and I'll be putting that together, and that will go out on YouTube tomorrow night when I'm on my way home back on the train. So look out for that as well, guys. And I will be doing some sort of like build up to the Southampton game, but I can't do a full warm up show because my other half, she finishes work at 7, so I have to leave the house at about 6:30, and the team news won't come out till 7, so I won't be back in time for to come on with the team news. But there'll be something on anyway, guys. But yeah, so watch out for that. And on Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. on the channel, I do have a special guest coming on, a professional sportsman who's currently a professional sportsman still at the moment. A big, huge Newcastle United fan, season ticket holder, takes his sons to the games. The guy's from Bedlington, and he's no other than the darts player Chris Dobie. So he will be joining me on Wednesday. So we'll talk about darts and his love of Newcastle United. So that should be a great show as well. Thank you very much, Pete.
No problem. All the best, lads. I've decided not to shave until we win a trophy, says Andy.
I'll be next month, Andy.
Hopefully, yes. Hopefully it is as well. So there is. Again, guys, if you have enjoyed, please do remember to hit the thumbs up if you've really enjoyed this live show tonight. Of course, please remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel or you're enjoying what's going on this channel as well. Please, smash that subscribe button, free to do so, and it really, really has helped grow the channel as well massively. And of course, hit that notification bell as well to be known of any live shows. I see you were doing there, Tony. Of any pre-recorded.
Yeah, I was doing that, not
that. I knew it. So to be known of any live shows or any pre-recorded videos going on the channel as well. You can still donate to the channel if you would like to do so. And again, if you would like to become a member for just 99p a month, feel free to do so as well. Definitely. That's a great one, Tony. Chris Dobie. Please for you.
Thank you very much.
As well, definitely. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend as well. And we shall see us all later. Take care of yourselves. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
Good night, all.
Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen.